With its unexpected success and broad appeal to both adults and children, Ghostbusters initially faced a missed opportunity with merchandise, particularly toy promotions. When the film debuted, brand tie-ins were quite common, but the absence of action figures and other related toys led to disappointments for fans, especially younger audiences eager to recreate the ghost-catching adventures on their own. I was certainly one of these fans that pined for Ghostbusters toys in 1984, and as echoed by many other people, all I wanted was a set of movie-based Ghostbuster figures that could interact with all my other toys, but it was never to happen. When we did finally receive Ghostbusters toys 2 years later, they were based on the characters from the animated series The Real Ghostbusters. While these toys were great, they left me feeling disappointed, and that disappointment has held through for many years. Finally, in 2024, 40 years later, we have received the toys that I had always hoped for. Stay tuned while we take a look at this brand new figure set and what it could mean for the future of Ghostbusters toys.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies, rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes.
The dead rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Hello, plastic addicts. My name is Brent, and welcome to Plastic Recollections. As I mentioned before, today we are looking at one of Hasbro's recent releases, the 1984 Ghostbusters Plasma Pack. Firstly, I would like to address the packaging. I quite like that it's designed to look similar to the original VHS tape sleeve. With that being said, I am not a fan of the fake weathering that Hasbro seems intent on using for their retro figures. We have seen this before with their Star Wars retro line, which was met with mixed reviews. However, in this case they have upgraded the cardstock to be much thicker than the card backs used previously, but it's difficult for me to see past the printed on weathering. I get that they want to make it look old, but why? It's not fooling anyone. And this time they have even made it look as if there are old stickers on it too. These are not even real stickers. They are printed onto the actual litho. I have to wonder about the thought process on this one.
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
The figures themselves feel quite robust and sturdy when in hand. They have the same sort of articulation you would expect from any similar O-ring style action figure. They truly ride that line between vintage and modern when it comes to sculpt and paint. While there are not that many paint apps, the ones that are there are crisp and clear. This can be seen on the name tags and shoulder emblems that look fantastic. When compared to vintage G.I. Joes from 1984, you can see that the sculpting is very precise, while the vintage is a bit softer in its detail. With that being said, I feel like these new figures can still slot in quite well with the vintage figures without standing out too much, which has been my white whale of action figure lines for years.
Can you imagine if we had these when we were 12?
Even better. We got them when we're 40.
Not only does the set include all 4 main characters, but it also includes some additional accessories: a ghost trap, a PK meter, the ECTO goggles, and of course the proton packs. These all look fantastic and can be slotted into the hands of the figures quite easily. The one aspect I worry about a bit is the cable that connects the neutron wand to the proton pack. The wand and the cable are molded as a single piece that plugs into the pack. I worry that this may eventually get brittle and snap, but hopefully the flexibility of the plastics used will prevent this from happening. The figures as a whole are a slam dunk, and I applaud Hasbro for knocking this one out of the park. However, in a very strange marketing and release move, we have had the vehicle for these figures for quite some time.
Total protonic reversal.
In 2021, Hasbro released a 1/18 scale ECTO-1 to coincide with the promotion of Ghostbusters Afterlife, but for some odd reason, never released any figures that scaled with it.
What is that thing you're doing?
It's technical.
Then, earlier this year, at the same time the figure plasma pack was announced for pre-order, they also re-released the ECTO-1 with a few updates from the Afterlife version, but is it essentially the exact same toy.
I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
This is where the issues begin to arise. The sculpt on the car itself is great, and the figures displayed with it look truly fantastic. One of the more ingenious features of it is the removable gurney that can hold the proton packs. This feature is a bit fiddly though, and can be a bit difficult to get all of the packs attached. Some of its other quirks are just getting the doors open in general, but this has been more than covered in numerous other videos as the vehicle was released long before the figures. The biggest issue with the ECTO-1 is that there is no great way to get all the figures inside of it. In the movie, we see just Ray and Winston in the front seat, but in the scene towards the end of the film, we can see that Ray, Peter, and Winston are all in the front seat and Egon is in the back. The third figures can be put into the front seat, but they do look crammed in, and poor Egon just flat out can't sit properly at all in the back. But this is the only way to have all the characters fit inside. Otherwise, someone will be left out in the cold. Overall, despite my nitpicks, I truly could not be more pleased with this figure set and the ECTO-1. I can only hope that perhaps we will eventually receive other characters in this same scale and construction. But since these took 40 years to happen, I'm not holding my breath.
For whatever reasons, Ray, call it fate, call it luck, call it karma. I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe for more vintage toy content. And as always, see you next time on Plastic Recollections.